Welcome back to the laughter contained within Final Fantasy VII. If you're a more interested person than Cloud, and haven't checked out the first part, please start there. Luckily, the party is finally out of Midgar, so let's begin on our world journey. Cloud looks as big as Godzilla. He could be a weapon ready to destroy Midgar for all we know. See? Aerith's signature guard stick can get stolen, never to return. Reminds me of another Aerith equipment issue in this game. Nothing. These were peak graphics 29 years ago. Trust me, it's true. Cloud tells this arrogant NPC that they're full of it. Unnecessarily elaborate and spirally staircase in this random residence, which leads to a hint about Vincent's playable status with this random gun treasure. Cloud's personality switch is jarring, which makes sense because, well, this is Zack, but seeing him squat and show excitement is good for a smile. Sephiroth's absolute power contrasting with Cloud's feeble weakness. Just thinking of how pathetic Hojo is makes Sephiroth bust a gut. Photographer disses Cloud's nobody status. Cloud's piano skill enables Tifa's ultimate limit break much later on. Cloud ransacks Tifa's drawers to find the legendary orthopedic underwear. Cloud's adorable youth portrait, although I suppose his behavior makes him considerably less adorable. Why construct such a shoddy, dangerous route to a Mako reactor? Don't people have to go in and out of there? Sephiroth is so powerful, he stops the player from changing his equipment and materia. 16-year-old Cloud has a better accessory than his battle-hardened self at the game's opening, which is nothing! Sephiroth never once gives Cloud a chance to attack and level up. Hey, Sephiroth laughs again! He's laughed more than anyone in the game so far, I think. Dude needs a counter. Tifa is forced to wait outside and wants attention. Sephiroth's too high and mighty to close the valve himself. He's standing right there! But if it took this much effort, I guess I'd give that job to the hired help too. The first core Final Fantasy VII depicts Sephiroth wrong-handed in almost every scene, except the most important one. He's predominantly a lefty. Make it so! Sephiroth is a nerd! See? Still laughing. Sephiroth spent 7 days trying to decipher his origin story, but got most of it wrong. Admittedly, Shinra's scientists are partly to blame too, but man, this led to most of the plot's conflict and tragedy, which isn't funny. But on the other hand, damn! How do you pull off a full week of all-nighter studying, but still fail the test? How did Cloud make it into Soldier at level 1 with 12 experience points? Oh, right. He didn't. Sephiroth set Nibelheim on fire in the 30 seconds it took Cloud to exit the mansion. Pretty unrealistic, especially considering he doesn't even have fire and all materia paired. Details are important. This photographer is remarkably calm about his perilous situation. Sephiroth casually abandons the Masamune. That's twice! Before replaying this, I assumed he never lets that sword go. The only time he should have is when Cloud used this to his advantage and threw him into the reactor core, using it as a lever. Why did he do this now? He doesn't have all of his supernatural powers yet. Sephiroth's excitement on his face. It's like you gave him what he really wanted for Christmas. Again, he laughs. Take the planet back from you stupid people. This guy's a laugh riot. Go Sephiroth. He's got the whole story wrong, but he's embracing the part he thinks he has in it. Tifa doesn't know the difference between a stab and a slash, and if you need more explicit proof, sorry for the violent graphic, but it's definitely a slash. How does a traveling combat unit get ambushed by loud animals in a wide open plain with perfect sight lines? You can see animated waves on the world map, but when you get up close, Square decided to just paint the sand blue and call it a day. In Final Fantasy VII's world, mountains materialize out of thin air, running in place instead of actually fleeing this Midgar Zolom snake. Cloud learns the beta enemy skill, but because he got knocked out, it doesn't count. Cloud attempts to talk with a chocobo, and this instigates a dance number. Does this chocobo ranch run exclusively on the premise that adventurers want to cross the marshes but need to stay safe? That is not a successful business model, given how few people would be as nuts as Cloud's party. Chocobo Bill doesn't respect Sephiroth's godlike powers. Chocobo Billy calls Cloud old. He's 21! God! Billy asks if Cloud wants to catch a chocobo. Cloud says he's not interested, to which Billy replies, "Let's get down to business," beginning his pushy sales pitch. This music, especially when trying to take a battle seriously, where time is of the essence, if you want to catch that damn bird. Awesome. Sephiroth is just showing off. Also, Chocobo Bill uses 30 feet tall as the Zolom's length estimate. It's pretty obvious he's never seen it firsthand before. Let's use some 5'8" Cloud measurements and multiply that by about 14 clouds needed to cover the whole length. It's not perfect, but 80 feet would be much more accurate. Chocobo Bill sucks at estimating. Rude sucks at intimidating through talking. Elena is awful at her job, spewing out details of the Turks' top secret orders, and becomes even worse after Sung tells her to stop. He's right, she just doesn't get it. But that's on the Turks. This is the worst hire ever. More hilarious enemy designs. Where did a monster get this ball and chain? And what's with the face inside of the chest? And the pirate hook hand? They brought it back in Rebirth, which is cool, but it's more generic there. Upon refusing to help defend Fort Condor, Barrett questions Cloud's humanity. Not interested indeed. This delightful 8-bit Final Fantasy victory theme music. Yuffie turns Cloud into a frog. Tifa punching and kicking Yuffie in the face. This save point, making you think you should save your progress in case you make the wrong dialogue choice, but the save point is the wrong choice, as Yuffie escapes while you're busy trying to use this fake replica. Brilliant. And funny. It took me over 40 attempts to steal a boomerang, which would be useless to the player if they never found or recruited Yuffie. Tifa questions whether Cloud knows this random ninja girl who attacked them in the forest and set them on fire. Not interested actually is the correct response here. After her cheerful introduction, Yuffie immediately reveals she's a con artist. Choco Mog summons light-hearted animation. Even dark, edgy stories need moments like this. Cloud comments on how Junon is so run down. Did he forget the slums? What the hell is he talking about? The Junon interiors are lavish by comparison. Merchant claims he sells weapons when he only has one piece of armor and healing items. Priscilla attempts to train a dolphin to speak human language. This boss appears because reasons? Priscilla is in peril, and Cloud doesn't understand what CPR is. Old Man decides to take Cloud aside and explain CPR to him when Priscilla's life is clearly in danger? You don't teach a rando how to do CPR when someone's life is in the balance. Do it yourself! Jesus Murphy! Old Man obviously doesn't know jack either, because this long, drawn-out animation/minigame is not remotely close to how actual CPR is performed. Cloud's split personality is getting bored and decides to talk for a while. Upon hearing about ascending the high-voltage tower, the party just puts the burden on Cloud and pretends he doesn't exist until he's useful again. It gets worse, too. If you make it, we'll follow you. Oh, yeah, thanks. What was Barrett and crew's plan if Cloud dies during this risky dolphin jump? He seems more concerned about the PHS phone. Oh yeah, can't let that get wet. But hey, if you get electrocuted, that's all fine. Aerith and Tifa have more boring dialogue than a random NPC. Shinra troops help Cloud learn military poses, and are absolutely enthused about this inauguration ceremony. Also, this music adds to the quirkiness. Rebirth handled this scene very well too, preserving that unrealism and ridiculousness beautifully.
Who's gonna show the rest of them how it's done? We are! I can't hear you! We are!
Junon is definitely compensating for something. Cloud's awful performance in the parade results in an unseen tech guy being fired for low ratings. It wasn't his fault! Look at this doofus! Heidegger's constant horse laugh is already so annoying that Rufus makes him stop, for now, still adding them to his counter though. Heidegger has the emotional maturity of a toddler, taking out his rage on his underlings. These soldiers' excitement for the Rufus send-off showcase. Cloud's victory pose finale is a hit. Elixirs are full heals, but are only worth 1 gil. You can steal 5 times that from this kid's drawer. Cloud's earlier combat explanations sucked so bad that these poor slums residents couldn't move on to the afterlife after they got crushed by the plate. Cloud is self-aware about his split personality disorder. Cloud can take a snooze during Rufus's inauguration. Shinra mid-manager from the train is dissatisfied with corporate travel. That's why Rebirth lets him go to Costa del Sol and the Gold Saucer. Instead of sticking with the military choreography, Cloud does whatever he wants, just to piss Rufus off. And why should we be obligated to improve the mood of the bad guy? Heidegger laughs, and gets punished again for it. Good. All of these random animations you can perform while being a soldier. This music is very unsuited to an undercover stowaway mission, but the melody is perfect for Red acting like a human. Oh man, that walking pose just gets me every time. I'm glad Rebirth acknowledged how hilarious this was, though it may have exaggerated it a bit too far. Yuffie resorts to drugs to help her seasickness. It's me, Aerith. Well, that's better than "this guy are sick," but it's still grammatically incorrect. It's me, Aerith! As if you were a Middle Ages bloke who just happened to find his missing Aerith, whatever that is. Aerith forces Cloud to make another promise he won't be able to keep. Rebirth actually uses this much later on in its interpretation.
You promise?
Promise.
Sorry. I guess that isn't funny, is it? I won't add a laugh for that. A super drink for seamen. Oh, dear God, no. Let's just pretend that this dialogue doesn't exist. The largest, most suspicious member of Cloud's party attempts to spy on the Shinra president. The whole party gets put to sleep and is overpowered by random troops. Scrutin-eye. Like, scrutinize? Is this enemy name supposed to be a pun? Oh, man. You look like a bear wearing a marshmallow. Barrett disapproves of Cloud's wandering directions. That polygonal helicopter design is just awful. I think Lego pieces would look less out of place against this pre-rendered background. Heidegger forgets not to laugh in front of the president. Rufus shows Heidegger who's boss, prompting the general to chase people off of the dock because his infantile ego doesn't let him truly admit his mistakes. Cloud can buy the president's private villa. You want drink? Is okay. You take time. And yet, you will never be able to buy one. Is this a strip tease? What in God's name is going on in this window? Cloud's a jerk to kids who are just trying to play soccer. Yuffie establishes materia store employment 30 seconds after disembarking the ship. Barrett seriously considers whether he should switch to sailor suit skin full time. Cloud's marshmallow comment must have resonated with him. He's either going to scare Marlene or make her laugh showing up like that. Cloud takes notice of what guys his age should, and gets punished for it. Aerith quotes Star Wars. Hojo wears his lab attire to the beach. The party gives up immediately when trying to get more information out of Hojo. Egg enemy hatches more eggs, and more eggs! Make it stop! With close-up camera angles, character models look so horrific against the pre-rendered backdrops. Even back in '97, this was jarring. Not everything ages well. By contrast, sometimes the camera is so far away, Cloud is virtually invisible. Can you see him? I'll give you 2 seconds. Thank God for fingers. Turning a life-threatening situation into a fun minigame when you fall through the railroad tracks. Tifa and Aerith cheer Cloud on, while Yuffie simply doesn't care. Finding the cutest chocobos ever. I love how they brought this back in Rebirth too, even though they turned it into a 2-hour side quest.
Kill me.
Instead of this nice one-time surprise. Shrinking a bird to make it cuter and harmless. Chocobo Chick's influence, I guess. Stealing arms from bombs. Also, ice is fantastic against fire enemies, proving Cloud right once again. Pokemon players would break their brains trying to figure this system out. Hey, look, it's a card game that's more fun than Queen's Blood. Oh, I hate Queen's Blood so much.
Oh, people call me Crybaby Dad.
The most fun, luxurious theme park in any video game world is directly connected to the most impoverished, run-down dumpster fire town in RPG history. Is that cruel irony or what? Cloud interrupts Barrett's tale of woe to hurry the party into the fun amusement park. Hugely popular, expensive theme park has absolutely no one else visiting it. Even save points cost theme park currency. Aerith is a jerk. She just expects Barrett to shed all of his trauma built up from returning to North Corel and enjoy himself. Even Tifa agrees that she's being harsh. And she even acknowledged that it wasn't the right time for this beforehand, but then goes ahead with it anyway. Wow. Dio is a clod. He assumes Cloud and Sephiroth to be the same age? Not only is it not true, Sephiroth's silver hair wouldn't do him any favors with the eye test. These roller coaster instructions, say them to someone in a sentence. While your ride's going zoom, you're going bang bang, and things are going pew pew, and you destroy them with a big boom! Also, it hypes up the ride to be much cooler than the actual janky experience. Kate Sith's music can't help but make us laugh. Cloud asks a robotic cat and Mog to find the legendary Sephiroth. Desperate much? Also, Kate Sith sucks at fortune-telling. Kate Sith has more agency than the protagonist of the story. This absurd Mog game, it's so out of place, kooky, and strange. The Mog's game message is that the love of our lives will eventually just show up and knock on our door? That's even more unbelievable than Cloud and Zack both falling through Aerith's roof to start a relationship with her. Mog parents attempt to abandon their 12 children. Greeter cheerfully welcomes Cloud to prison. This mask enemy casts an ultimate heal spell on the party after dying. Thanks. This persistent prick follows you everywhere, laughing all the while. A trio of liars, ironically, help you find the truth. In this trauma-ridden, tragic flashback, wherein an elder gets shot and killed, Barrett dodges copious amounts of bullets, like he's in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Scarlet's apparently taking over because the soldiers can't aim, but she doesn't have a gun equipped here. What is she doing? Punching and flip-kicking a 40,000-pound worm and hoping it dies. Dyne's special attack looks nothing like the weapon it's named after. This sleazebag, Gus, gets told by Barrett. But I think Rebirth portrayed this character much better. It made him so easy to hate.
Woo! Woo!
Yahoo! That Chocobo soundtrack. Cloud getting bucked constantly by the Chocobo. Dio references Sephiroth as just a normal, good-natured guy who Cloud should get an autograph from. Cloud doesn't want to intrude on this loner house in the middle of nowhere. there's not even anybody there. This, despite previously having no qualms about breaking into any random villager's residence. Random enemies in the forest wipe out the party with frog and paralysis spells. Triple frog victory pose. Rude makes the obvious choice when Reno asks who he likes, and it tracks, because Rude absolutely drops Cloud and Aerith, but will never attack Tifa. Look it up if you don't believe me. Reno's denial of losing. Cloud trusts everyone, despite the obvious suspicious Turk appearance. Gongaga's jungle only spans 3 screens, 4 counting the reactor. Rebirth should take notes, instead of forcing us to look through every damn blade of grass, scavenging for mushrooms. Scarlet judges based on size, pretty shallow. Then she laughs at the fact that Sung has to work under Heidegger. Scarlet either doesn't even look, or isn't impressed enough by summon materia to take it. That's Titan! You want something big? There you go, sister! Why is there a tank designed to look like a Triceratops? Shinra's weapon development unit got drunk when they manufactured this. I sure hope it's in Revelation. Even in death, Zack steals both of Cloud's girlfriends. That's gotta be the most impressive accomplishment of anyone in this entire game, in the whole Final Fantasy series.
Oh yeah!
What? 10 years between contact? So Zack never even talked to his parents during his recruitment process and rookie years? Zack's 2 years older than Cloud, who's 21. So he never talked to his parents since he was 13? Jesus Murphy! That cheerful exterior hides some major personality flaws.
Me? Gongaga.
This merchant makes customers climb a pole to get to the weapon shop. What if they're physically disabled? This should be outlawed. When Cloud asks Aerith about Zack, she says, "Didn't I tell you?" No, Aerith, you didn't. Cloud asked you what his name was, and you said, "It doesn't really matter." Quit making Cloud out to be the bad guy here. This dialogue choice, showing Cloud's true affection. Rebirth again shows this off in a wonderful way. Brand new buggy has engine failure at the most inopportune time for plot purposes. Cosmo Canyon is perpetually under a sunset sky. Sleep deprivation must run rampant here. Even after this conversation and Red's reaction, Cloud doesn't know who Nanaki is. So this NPC dumbs it down even further for him. Awful advertisement promoting a job that consists of long hours of boredom. Honesty isn't always the best policy. This is the laziest worker ever. At least the mellow materia dude at Walmart eventually acknowledges your existence. Bugenhagen laughs at the prospect of a group honestly trying to save the world. Bugenhagen is impressed with his own science contraption, but to be fair, it is pretty friggin' sweet. Tifa makes Cloud question his existence. She sure hasn't been a good support for him up to now. Bugenhagen tells Cloud to take just one extra member to a dangerous, demon-infested cave that he sealed up for decades. Ah! Demonic jump scare face! Killing this scary-looking boss can be done in 5 seconds if you throw an X potion onto it. Speaking of items, wouldn't just using a soft or golden needle on Seto remedy this tragic situation? Hey, I just want the family to get back together. Shinra rebuilt Nibelheim and hired people to act as if they'd lived there their whole life, but they forgot to put anyone in Tifa's house, and that's the best one in the town by far. Ridiculously in-depth piano minigame. Surely they'll make this more accessible when they redo it in... Oh, crap! My mistake. Carry on. This confuse animation. This hilarious axe pendulum swing enemy, especially when he falls off and can't quite get back up onto it. Ugh. Oh, now I'll show you. Ugh, crap. I got it. I got it. God damn it. Now! Hit him while he's down! Cloud doesn't know what a reunion is. Sephiroth giving out free materia like he's Oprah Winfrey. Zack and Cloud escape reports are not accurate. You call this escaping? Oh yeah, look at him go! Cloud quotes Star Wars before attempting to open the safe. Game bluntly insults you for not being fast enough with the lock combination. Vincent makes Cloud spill all he knows about Sephiroth, then refuses to share his tumultuous past, or anything for that matter, and cuts the party off. Why did we even recruit this guy? Dragons carry around mystical armor. Revisiting the reactor at this point offers absolutely no memory triggers or plot developments. Water jellyfish enemies absorb electricity elements but are weak to fire. Cloud was a genius. I stand corrected once again. Cid demands that his guests be treated well. Even the moon get tired waiting around for your ass. Cid's rocket cheaply imitates the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Cid is harsh, but he's right. Sheriff sucks. The party listened to a 10-minute story of regret and couldn't even sip on a beverage while it was droning on. She could have easily served tea at the same time. Cid feels slighted that Cloud's party won't sit down and relax in this wonderful, curse-filled, fractured relationship atmosphere. Palmer barges in and expects to be served tea. Oh, and he wants lard in it. That's gotta be gross. Rufus wants to borrow Cid's plane? He has his own private helicopter, and the High Wind ready at the Junon base. What the hell does he need a 2-seater biplane for? This plot beat is laughably nonsensical. Palmer slaps that big rear end, which is chuckle-worthy, but it pales in comparison to when he gets decked by this truck. Rebirth got the butt slap in, but man, it's not as good as this. Hold on to your drawers and don't piss in them. Yep, that quote makes the podium easily. Also, Cid announces it's going to be a big splash, when the actual landing in the ocean could not have been more gentle or unrealistic. Glad to be aboard, numbskulls! Game gives directions to fly the Bronco, when all you can do is sail it. Woo! Look at me! I'm flying! Red rightfully accuses Yuffie for betraying them. That wind howl, emphasizing how gone Yuffie is. Zounds! Or zoons! How is that said? It's scheduled vacation time for the Turks, but Elena sucks at relaxing. Yuffie ruins our materia excitement, and we're back down to 0. Hey, is it possible to just leave Yuffie and Wutai and purchase a new materia collection and continue on with the story? Honest question. This Wutai kid is the first NPC in the game to call Cloud out for barging into houses. Also, Yuffie sucks at hiding. Why would Yuffie rattle around in a pot and draw attention to herself? Cloud breaks his knuckles punching the stone pot 3 times to make Yuffie reveal herself. Cloud is a cold brute here, but Yuffie kind of deserves it. Yuffie sucks at jokes. Oh, steel. That pun is a miss. Also, her steel cage trap is poorly executed. She should have triggered the switch herself and trapped everyone. This house is owned by dozens of cats. Goddamn jamming secret door made me reset my game. Don Corneo stoops to a new low. My god, Yuffie? Really? Rude is slow. Don Corneo gets cornered, but threatens to press the button, which would kill Elena and Yuffie. Cloud responds, damn! Tifa shouts, coward! While Aerith mutters, alright. Just wow. I like Aerith considerably less after replaying this. Reno turning Corneo's ludicrous wordplay against him. Serves him right. He got the end he deserved, eventually. Wait, what? He survived that too? And got married? Oh, that poor, unfortunate mystery woman. Yuffie randomly gives out materia to the party and forces the player to reconfigure everything. This was a chore. But honestly, I still find it awesome that Yuffie affected the gamer directly. This nonsensical description of the Yoshiyuki sword. Sword is used when an ally is down. What the hell does that mean? What is this translation? Kids nowadays with their offensive language. Yuffie and Godo laugh after almost killing each other. Yuffie's core values fail to change, like father, like daughter. The Turks slapped this poor fellow. I mean, they've done worse, but that's just rude. Get it? I gotta subtract one now. That was just bad. Should Cloud participate in the battle arena? Of course he should. Whew, I don't know. All those handicaps and tough enemies, this is too much, isn't it? No way! My God! How do you royally screw up this badly? Two completely different, monumental errors, all in one text box. Also, Dio's public clothing choice. Cloud talks like a squire from the Middle Ages here for some reason. Shan't? Barrett transmits the thoughts of the player to Cloud, citing the confusing mess of a story that's playing out. Barrett thinks Cetra is some kind of disease. Sid falls asleep 2 minutes into the most important conversation that the party has had together. I didn't even notice it before, but this red dragon thing looks like it's eavesdropping on the party. Cloud actually agrees to participate in this ridiculous drama production. Cloud forgets his lines. Cloud wants to know what many players want to know. Cloud kisses a dragon. Everyone's synchronized pirouetting maneuvers. And Tifa's dissatisfaction with the ending. Tifa sucks at expressing herself. Come on, girl. You had him alone in a gondola for half an hour amidst a grand romantic spectacle, and most of your dialogue is ellipses. Cloud even gives her another chance at the end of the night, but she doesn't muster any courage at all. No, she did not have fun tonight. What a downer. Thank goodness for Rebirth. Barrett chastises Cloud for viewing fireworks with him when he was the one who initiated the date. Barrett completely misunderstands Cloud, which results in one of the most uncomfortable conversations in the entire game. Square royally screwed up how they positioned their characters here. This is just, yeah, moving on. Aerith wants to meet Cloud, and then provides no additional context when he's understandably confused. Kate Sith assumes everything is fine, despite his ultimate betrayal when delivering the keystone to Shinra. For all the talk and mystery about the mythical Temple of the Ancients, the place would appear to be extremely easy to find. It's the only significant landmark on this continent. Aerith explains how the spirit bodies of the ancients have lost their ability to talk. So how does she attempt to communicate? By shouting, "Talk to me!" Nyam nyam. Does that count as talking? Getting crushed by this boulder takes no health away, which is even more laughable considering previous traps like the G-Cavern spikes reduce everyone to 1 HP. Sephiroth still holding the Masamune in the wrong hand halfway through the game. Cloud gets seduced by this demon woman, despite both of his love interests standing right beside him. Tifa takes offense to this temptress's flirting. Aerith gets her ultimate weapon, with only half an hour left in her game. Cloud has the option to whine like a child about wanting to go home. He doesn't even have a home. Even his former house is occupied by Shinra stand-ins now. Is Aerith a master of tragic comedy? Because that is a very harsh line, considering what's coming up. Oh, so is this. Hey, Sephiroth! Watch where you're swinging that thing! You could have hurt someone! Hope that nincompoop learns his lesson. You almost cut Aerith there. Here's our favorite jokester, Sephiroth, laughing it up again. Cloud's laughing, he's so excited about his new job opportunity, working with Black Materia and Meteor. Sephiroth's technically doing this though, so the laughs go to him. Sephiroth laughs again. See, my thumbnail is actually quite accurate. Great Gospel is quite the limit break, bestowing complete recovery and invincibility, but won't be available when Aerith needs it most. I'm so exited. Proofreading is hard. Aerith wants to know how good of a match her and Cloud are, despite Tifa standing right there. I promise I won't get mad. Yeah, selfish much? I love how they included these upset animations for Tifa too. That's just brilliant attention to detail. Guess who's chuckling again? Cloud has a literal out-of-body experience. Kate Sith's sacrifice is undone so quickly that no one playing even had the chance to be sad. Peekaboo! Cloud sucks at keeping his loved ones close. After all of that, Cloud legitimately feels unwell, but Barrett sucks at being sympathetic. All that rest didn't heal everybody up. An enemy with 33,000 HP only gives you 510 experience points. This prick doesn't answer Cloud's question. How did Aerith get her own lunar harp? Did she have to go through this tedious excavating bombing minigame before we got here? Or is it just because she's a Cetra with special powers? This enemy design, that's the cutest one yet. Using a cigarette to light up dynamite. We won't see this in 4K, I guarantee you that. Why did Rebirth censor Sid so much? Bring back the chain smoking! The ancients had quite the interior design philosophy, seaweed-fish combo, in the middle of a spiraling, ascending structure. Ethereal, heavenly staircase ironically delivers characters downwards, towards the darkest moment of the plot. Why was this an animation that was programmed? In the worst possible scene, too! You just don't do that! My god! What was going through their heads? Cloud cuts Sephiroth off and dismisses his twisted logic. Good for that prick. Especially since... Yep, Sephiroth's gonna have the last laugh once again.
Shut up!
Should we keep the laughs going, gamers? Of course we should! Brace yourself for intimidating icicle enemies, relive Sid's cursing and smoking before Revelation ruins him, and get ready to mosey to the finish line as we conclude our analysis of everything funny in Final Fantasy VII, and see if Sephiroth is the laugh champion! Like and subscribe if you even cracked a smile. Good to see ya, gamers.